Welcome to Jazzpunk. Timing will begin as soon as I gain control. 3, 2, 1, go. Darlington Station, it's the very first level. There's a cutscene that you talk to the director who's like, oh, you gotta get this from the Soviet consulate, because they've taken it from us. But, because wires are a lot sturdier than they look, we're actually gonna go out of bounds and skip that. Or attempt to, at least. That white dot is what we're aiming for. And just like that, we've skipped the director's cutscene, which is about 20 seconds. Do quick save load there to avoid the title, or I guess it would be a title screen. So we're gonna come in here, set the clock to 12, because that means it's lunchtime. We're gonna set up another
Find the mailbox marked with
skip here by tricking the game into thinking we're on one side as that's going up. Do a save load. Should put us right on the edge here. And just like that, we have skipped Soviet consulate.
Welcome back.
And now, next is going to be Ikiaki Alley, which has a new skip in Director's Cut that wasn't there in patch 7. And we call it, pretty sure we call it Spider Can Skip, because we use a Spider Can to skip part of the level. Makes sense. There is an out-of-bound glitch, or an out-of-bound route that we can do as well at the end of the level, but from what I can tell, it is actually kind of been patched out, because the first jump to get to it now has a pillar in the way. He's installing a landline. So normally you'd go down the alley to the right, go all the way around, but instead, we're gonna jump on the can here. Or not. So that, it's a little tricky because it is a cylindrical object. And it does move pretty rapidly, so it's easy to fall off. So normally you'd jump up onto the building there and fall down. Saves a few seconds. Now we're gonna collect a few spiders, because spiders are friends, apparently. So there's actually 8 spiders here. You only need 5 to actually get to the fugu fish. And now we got a cutscene. So that's the cowboy that we saw. That's the guy we're supposed to follow. He's got that artificial kidney that's worth 25 billion yen. He's gonna get sick. He's gonna go play Splatoon in the bathroom. That is not a euphemism, as you will clearly see. And as you can probably tell, there's a QR code on the kidney. You can actually scan that. It's a little difficult, but it does scan. It says like a Neurotech artificial kidney, copyright 1959B or something like that. There's actually another QR code later on in the run that we won't actually, or later on in the game, not the run. That you can scan. The reason we don't see it in the run is because we actually do a pretty big skip. It's on the night resort, which is coming up.
Fantastic work.
And that says like, oh, it's a robotic pig, don't burn.
That's a bit more heat than usual.
Something like that.
I have to wait for things to cool down a bit.
So now, the office is filling up with water, we're gonna drown, and that'll be the end. No. Nah, instead we're gonna go to Kaitak Resorts. So this is the expedition. There are, I think, 72 different places. All based on real places. Highly recommend checking them all out. The only thing that you get out of it is a good time and an achievement. Highly recommend checking it out, though. It's a lot of fun. So now we're setting up, or we're going to be doing a wrong warp that we set up before the run. And so you're probably wondering why I like start right at the door. It's because I can actually glitch through the door a little, making the game think I'm on both sides. We'll pick this up. We'll do a save, a load, and the game thinks I was in Wedding Cake because I opened up, and so it puts me back here. Which skips the cutscene talking to the director on the banana phone. And on top of that, it saves about 30 seconds? 20 seconds? Nope, I got stuck there. So now that we've drank that, you want to get out of this room as quick as possible, because now a timer has started until this happens, where you fall down and they're like, oh, hey. What's wrong? So the timer starts as soon as you leave the room, and not before. So that's why you try to get out as fast as possible. The reason I ring the bell, it's fun. And so here's Night Resort. This is where the other QR code, or this is the level that the QR code's in. Wow, I got so turned around there. But we're going to be skipping that. And so we're going to come stand right on the edge of the elevator here, do a save load. So we're on the 4th floor, but the elevator's on the 1st floor. The game thinks we're still in the elevator because we did do a save load there. So we're going to put it on 3rd floor, come over to the clam, because this is where the end of the level is. Go to the 1st floor and hit the loading zone, and we have beat Night Resort. So we have skipped quite a bit of cutscene. So right there, what I just did going over the tunnel, we call moth skip, because in the gears there is a moth that you're supposed to pull out to get the gears going, which open the door. But you can go over it. And so it's rightly named moth skip. Also, I do apologize for the bitrate here. This level is notorious for killing the bitrate for anything. And you don't actually have to wait for the door to open completely on that. I just kind of fell out of the tunnel there. So now we're going to come over here, spill coffee on this, and we will get out of Wetworks. So now coming up is going to be Bachelor Pad, which is a huge chunk of the run. It's about a third. So if you sit down quick enough, you can actually get an audio skip there. The editor will say, oh, Polyblank, please, have a seat. We've got much to discuss. If you sit down quick enough, you just like, Polyblank, please. Ah, Polyblank, thanks. And so it saves about 3 seconds.
And no tricks, Polyblank. This message will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So we'll do another save load here. This one's a little trickier to time, because you think it's ready, but it's not. For example there, I was too early. We do save load there. If you do it fast enough, it won't actually spawn the item that you normally spawn with, which saves a little bit of time near the end. Because later on we're going to be picking up 6 trophies, which we have to cycle through to give to the editor. Spoiler alert, I guess. So we're going to grab this remote, which will spawn the director here. We're going to talk to him. So now it's a cutscene. So I'll just kind of use this time to explain what's coming up. We got 3 sports games coming up, because everyone loves sports. We've got mini golf. We've got Wave Race 64. Yeah, that's right, the N64 Classic Wave Race. And then we got Virtual Boy Tennis, because what run would not be complete without. I'm gonna just scratch that sentence because I don't even think I grammared correctly there. So yeah, look forward to Virtual Boy Tennis. So with mini golf, there's 3 holes. the best you can do is a 2-1-2. So you can get a hole in 2, hole in 1, hole in 2.
Right, improvise. I know you'd do well by me.
Polyblank.
With hole 1, there's an easy setup to get the hole in 2. Hole 2, there's a decent setup to get a hole in 1. And then hole 3, it looks like you could get a hole in 1, but you risk soft locking. And it's not worth it. So, with that being said, great time for donations, as I'm just going to be doing sports here.
A home run? I must be a bit off today. I almost went with that one myself.
So the setup here, I'm going to aim like right where it starts slanting. And you aim right for the hole. I think that was a little too hard. So it's not bad.
I haven't had fun like this since killing that drifter in an alleyway.
Let's see.
I'm so surprised.
So best case scenario, you'll get a 2-1-2. In most cases, I would probably say a 2-2-2 is acceptable. So I don't want to hit that too hard, because otherwise it can bounce up and actually land on the level above. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually been patched.
We're just getting warm.
That is very possible. It has been patched in Director's Cut, patch 8. But I know in patch 7, it was a soft lock, and if you try to hit it down, it can go underground, and then you just can't get to it anymore, and then you have to do a save load. And it just doesn't work out. So now we're going to follow the editor. Or not. We're going to ignore the rings, because this is not Superman 64. So now we're going to prepare for Wave Race. A simple wave race. Sorry, Gravy Race 64. So, 3 laps, aiming for a 46, 47, somewhere in there. Hopefully not higher than a 48. There's not much else to be said. I mean, there's not really any skips we can do. We've tried to find some, but there are invisible walls that we just can't really do much with. So, with that being said, great time for donations. Oh! That was barely a 48. That should have been a 47.
You're not supposed to be able to win this.
Alright. So next, we're going to steal the director's cart. Or the editor's cart, not the director. Director is who we're trying to say. Because it's quicker. And I stand on the right side rather than the left because he can send you flying. Which then wastes time. And then actually right there's a chance, if you jump out of the cart, that he can send you into oblivion.
I must warn you.
And kind of soft locks the game. So I said we're going to play tennis. Instead, we're going to just beat him up.
I prefer to call this.
So now we're going to grab the 6 trophies here. So we have the trophy, the sash, the bouquet, the medal, which is right here, if I can grab it, the belt, and the tiara. So now we're going to come over here. And you'll notice that he's a balloon.
Another trophy for me. Is that
We're going to do a save load, which will put us back here, in, as I try to get turned around there, back in the building. It's a lot faster than going across the stage, or across the bridge, because the bridge actually slows down your speed. So now,
You might as well call
we're
it
gonna
now,
try to be eaten
because
here.
It's only gonna end one way.
People are probably gonna... There might be someone out there learning something about themselves. I won't say anything about that. And you probably noticed that there was 2 buttons there. One that said save the editor on a scotch piece of tape, and I think it was written in green marker or crayon. And I pressed the red button, the crockification. Well, if you press the other button, the tape falls off and it does the exact same thing. So that's all there is to it. So now we're gonna go through the intestinal jungle here. It is actually possible to not spawn that machete, unless if that's also been patched. I never risk it, because it doesn't really save any time. So yeah, this has been Jazzpunk. I highly recommend checking it out, especially with the director's cut. They added so much to Ikeyaki Alley, which you don't see at all in any percent. In, oh, what do we call it? Arbitrary Agent is what we call it. You do a bunch of different things. All the rules for Arbitrary Agent were voted on by the community, so it's not like someone's just like, I'm gonna do a run that does this, this, and this, and then people are like, I don't know about that. No, it was all voted on, discussed. And time is gonna be here in 3, 2, 1, and time. So yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. It's also got DLC, Flavor Nexus, which is just it's in the extras. So it doesn't actually add on to the game. And so yeah, this has been Jazzpunk. Thank you for watching.